people. We got one of the grooviest guys around. Well, actually, a couple of the grooviest guys around. Of course, we got Branscombe Richmond on the line, groovy guy Larry Manetti, and groovy guy Will Link, all holding it down here for the next hour.
Yeah. And Will's got some great information about the movie.
Will is our link.
He is our link to the
Yes.
movies.
He is.
So, Branscombe, are you back?
I'm back, and you know what? Can I tell a Larry Manetti story? I mean, how many people get to be on your show and tell a Larry Manetti story?
Here we
Not
go.
too many.
All right, I'm
Okay,
cringing.
so here we are. We're doing Magnum. The director is a guy named Alan Levine, and I'm playing a part of a thug, and I'm going to do a fight with Frank Sinatra.
Oh, God.
Now, when Frank Sinatra comes to the set, he has a beautiful entourage and a wonderful wife, and you pay homage to Frank and his boys and his beautiful wife. So all the introductions kind of come along, and there's Larry and Roger and Tom and the cast. And okay, so I'm going to fight Frank Sinatra. Well, Frank looks at me and he says, "What's your name, kid?" And I said, "My name's Branscombe." You know, in the first time I said my name, he got it. He goes, "Okay, Branscombe, is anybody going to believe that I'm going to win this fight with you?" And I go, "I'm not sure. Check with Alan Levy." So he pulls it. He says that he wants to pull a gun in the scene, and that'll kind of stop Branscombe, and then we'll start the fight. So he explains that to Alan Levy. Alan Levy says, "No problem." And then we go to do the scene. In the corner, Larry's got a camera. And in the middle of the scene, he takes a photo of Frank getting ready to punch Branscombe. And the whole scene stops, and somebody said, "Who took that photograph? Who took that photograph?"
Wasn't me.
And Larry says, "It wasn't me."
Yeah. It was Branscombe, it was a Polaroid camera. And when I said it wasn't me, everybody turned around and looked at me, and the picture went zzz out the front. And I said, "Frank made me do it." That's funny.
Now,
By the way,
second
so
part-
you know, I have a video copy of that fight and the whole thing with the picture and everything that somebody sent me that Frank, unbeknown to anybody, had a friend of his photographing all his stuff. And you're in it with Frank.
It was probably Jilly.
No, it wasn't Chili. I don't remember it. I think it was Manny Stein or somebody.
Well, there's a second part to this story, and that's Frank telling the director how to properly hold a gun. He told Alan Lee. Alan Levy says, "Frank, I need you to hold the gun like this because I can't see it in the frame." And Frank says, "Open up the lens." And nobody ever holds a gun like that. Obviously, you've never held a gun, Alan. So that's my Larry Manetti story.
That's
And Larry,
great.
I got to tell you, we loved having you at Thunder Valley Casino Resort and Spa. We loved having you on Renegade, and hopefully we can do some more in the future.
Oh, well, thank you. I had a ball on Renegade. That was one of my favorite times. And you and Lorenzo Lamas were great. By the way, that was a series. I wish they'd bring it back in reruns because you two guys were phenomenal. That was a great show. The cast was great. I remember all your guest stars, and I miss Lorenzo and you. We had a ball working together.
Well, we worked for a great guy, and that was Stephen J. Cannell.
Yeah.
Wasn't he
Yeah.
great?
Yeah.
God bless him. Yeah.
Hey, Branscombe, you mind taking calls from a couple of our listeners here?
As long as they're not bill collectors, absolutely.
We do have Gary from Michigan on the line. Hey, Gary, you're on with Branscombe Richmond.
What's up, Manettis? What's up, Branscombe? This is Gary Collins, who used to watch Jane Wyman and Lorenzo Lamas from another television series.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
how do you like that?
Yeah.
That's neat.
All right.
I'm
Well-
just doing fine, and I got a question for Branscombe. Speaking of Mr. Lamas, were you and Mr. Lamas fans of Julie London's music as kids growing up?
Okay, I think you're breaking up, but I think the question was, did we have any shows that we liked when we were growing up? Is that what you said?
No, did you and
no.
did you and Lorenzo?
Did you and your best friend Lorenzo Lamas like Julie London as kids growing up?
Okay, I didn't hear Louis London.
Julie London. Julie
Julie-
London. She was a singer.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Now, listen, I played a delirious clown on Emergency.
Yeah.
And what was Julie's husband name, the musician?
Bobby Troop.
Bobby Troop. So, here we are on the ice skating rink, these two clowns getting an argument over a ballerina, and then they take us to the hospital. So that's the only Julie London connection I've ever had. I loved her. She reminded me of like the wonderful lady from Mission Impossible. Jane.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Barbara Bain.
Barbara Bain.
Barbara Bain.
Hey, Branscombe, hang in there for one more segment, buddy. Is that okay?
You bet.
Hey, thanks a lot. It's the Larry Manetti PM show. We'll be back right after
Thanks,
these
Gary.
messages. Thanks, Gary. We'll be back right after these messages on CRN Digital Talk Radio.